And I have to assume too that the that sort of autopilot mode like really kicks on in that lower state, that fate state as well. Um,
Yes, absolutely. So there's a term that's now very common in neuroscience and psychology, the default mode network, which is kind of the biology level of the autopilot. And the autopilot, um, think about it this way. Our system depends which scientific research you read, collects between hundreds of millions to billions of signals per second. Right? Just looking at the screen now, collect shape, sound, texture, distance, all kinds of inputs, multiple per second. Now, we don't have the capacity, the processing capacity to analyze every single signal all the time, every time. So what do? We bucket it into templates. Now, bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger templates. For instance, I don't ask myself, who am I every morning I wake up? I don't start analyzing, okay, let's see. This feels like that, that feels like that. I get this signal, I hear that sound, and then the conclusion is that. There's an automatic system that says, okay, you're Dan, you woke up this morning, today's Tuesday, that's it, right? When you stand on the street, you don't start asking yourself, what am I standing on? Who am I? What am I wearing? What is this sound? Who is this person? What is this language? It's all templates on templates on templates that we already know, right? The words, the sound packets that I'm exerting out of my mouth, they make sense to you because they latch on knowledge that you already exist. And those are all templates. So what we have a system that matches templates. That's what computers do, because computers imitate human cognition. So we don't analyze every single. Therefore, that system matches to the closest template. Now, sometimes it doesn't really match, but we don't pay attention. Sometimes what we thought is a sound of an exhaust is actually a sound of a gunshot. But we assume it's an exhaust because we heard that 100 times before or 1,000 times before. So our matching template matching system is not very accurate. That's the inaccurate processing. Now, most of our existence, we use that system because we don't have the capacity to analyze everything. We only focus very deep analytical resources on a task that is very, we perceive as very important. There's a remarkable book by Daniel Kahneman, Think Fast, Think Slow, that talks about this process, and he got a Nobel Prize for this research. Right? That's how the human mind operates, which means that most of the time we don't get it exactly right. Kind of get it right. We kind of get the meaning. It's enough to keep us safe, but it doesn't mean it's accurate. Now, what happens when it comes to what we need? We don't, for instance, stop every step of the way and say, okay, what exact nutrients does my body need right now? We grab something out of the fridge and we move on. Those kind of behaviors, the most of our life. So most of our decision making process is based on a kind of inaccurate template matching. Now, what does that mean? That means that we base our behavior on the past because where the template is coming from, it's coming from the past. So we move forward based on the past. It's like driving, looking at the rearview mirror because we assume it's the same. We assume the template works. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And we focus accurate, precise processing and attention only on very few things a day. So most of our life is propelled forward by the past. How we dress, how we behave, how we respond, how we react, how we think, all of it based on the past. Right? Now, you wouldn't consider getting into your car, looking at the rearview mirror and driving forward. But that's what we do, all of us, all day long.
mhm.
The whole thing about mindfulness is try and stop that or reduce that. We just don't have the capacity. So that's the autopilot. It's a good system. It keeps us safe, but it perpetuates the past. So if you want out of it, if you don't like some of the templates in your life, you need to start doing something different. So you need to find those elements because you don't have the capacity to change everything. And that's where the work is. So how do you trick your cognition? Because you're trying to find the problems in your autopilot with the same system that operates the autopilot. Now, that's a whole conundrum on its own. So the Hero's Journey Guide is all about tricks to do that. How to find those elements and how to rewire the system with which you're doing the rewirement.